guys watched my year update on my celibacy journey video, then you guys know that I talked a lot about feeling lonely and attracting the same type of guy and just wanting to be booed up and everything. Contrary to that video, I was actually asked out quite a bit on dates in tech school. Did anything come of them? Obviously not, but I just wanted to go ahead and make this video to kind of elaborate on my dating life in tech school and kind of the foolishness that I endured while going to tech school and trying to, you know, just mind my business and learn my job. So without further ado, here is a little bit of a story time about my dating experiences while in tech school. The very first guy that ever showed interest in me while in tech school was a Marine. To clarify, I lived on a joint base, so there was Air Force, Marines, Navy, and a little bit of Army sprinkled in there. Now remember, I was eating in the galley. Now, with Air Force, called the cafeteria, the dining facility, or the DFAC for short, this was a Navy base, so they call it the galley. Not too sure why. But I remember I was eating in the galley one day with my friends, and this Marine just so happens to walk by my table, and he just starts talking to me, and his accent to me sounded like he was Jamaican, and I'm pretty sure that's what he was, if I remember correctly. He was Jamaican. And you know, I'm having casual conversation with him, you know, no big deal. And he proceeds to ask me for my number. And so I gave it to him. I was like, you know what, whatever, you know, he's cute. I think he was in a career field where you had to be smart to be in. So I was like, okay, great. He's intelligent. He has his accent, like, whatever. So we had kind of texted for a couple days, and he finally asked me to hang out. Mind you, we had only known each other for like less than a week. And in those couple days, he came up with a nickname for me. It was Chair Force. Whatever, Marines think that, you know, Air Force doesn't do anything. But he ended up saying something along the lines of, hey, you should come to my barracks and we can watch like Netflix. And instantly right there, I was automatically turned off. I was like, take me on a date. So I ended up saying something like Netflix and chill. And he proceeds to say, if we Netflix and chill, I'll blow your back out. Needless to say, I did not respond. But you know, a couple weeks go by and I'm not responding to his messages. He eventually stops texting me. And I'm dressed really cute with my friend at the time, who everybody thought that we were dating because we looked really nice that night. We ended up walking to this place called Portside, which was like a bar / arcade type thing. And we walked right past him, and I was like, oh dear God. Literally on this base, okay, if you ever get stationed in Pensacola, you will understand what I'm talking about right now. But basically, so there's like the barracks, and then there's this big 2 lanes of sidewalks, and then there's the schoolhouse. So pretty much if you're walking down the sidewalks, they're like really, like, it's a long stretch of sidewalks. Like literally, if you are walking in one direction and you see somebody that you don't like and that you want to avoid, there is no going around. There's no like walking across the grass because you're gonna look completely obvious and that person's gonna see you. So like I couldn't make a beeline, I couldn't turn around, I couldn't like shield myself. Like literally I knew that he saw me, and it was so awkward. Like literally he looks dead at me and he's like, hey, Chair Force. And I'm like, hey, like I didn't just ghost you for like a month. And he's just like, oh, so you want a date now? You going on a date? You blew me up. You ghosted me. You ghosted me. I'm like, bro, you basically implied that you were going to blow my back out if I came and Netflix and chilled with you. Like, and I was like, I'm not on a date, and I didn't ghost you, and I just kept walking. Not too long after that, I ended up seeing him in the galley once again, and he was just like, Chair Force, you ghosted me. You just ghosted me. You really just ghosted me. I'm like, bro, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm not trying to get my back blown by somebody I've met after like a week. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know. And then he was just like, you could have just said, you know, you're not down for that. Or I could just not respond. Now, I rarely get asked out by Caucasian men. So when I do, I low-key feel, you know, a little good about myself. You know, I don't know why. Don't ask, because I don't know, but it makes me feel good a little bit, you know, that I can attract other races. But I remember this one time that my friend, who everybody thought we were together, and I had gone to Portside to just hang out and just meet our friends there. And this Navy SEAL decides to come up and start talking to me. So either he didn't think that we were together or he just didn't care, because he definitely started a conversation with me. And he just started talking about my outfit. I don't remember what I was wearing. It was probably a romper. But he just started complimenting me on my romper and how nice I looked that night. Now he ends up asking to buy me a drink after our little casual conversation. And I was just like, oh no, that's okay. Like, I already ordered one. When in reality, I was really saying in the back of my mind, like, you ain't about to roofie me today. But then he's like, okay, you know, that's cool, that's cool. And we just proceed to have like a good conversation. And then he starts talking about how he's gonna leave soon and how he's like getting shipped off from tech school to his first base, and how him and his friends were gonna celebrate that Friday, and he invited me to hang out with him and his friends. And I was just like, let's just say his friends were like typical like frat boy type. So I was like, I don't know what, like, why you're interested in me. Like, I'm definitely like, I wouldn't imagine me to be his type, essentially. But I was just like, oh yeah, no problem. I'll invite my friends. We can all hang out. Like, no problem. So we exchanged numbers and we set a date to hang out at this bar downtown in Pensacola. Needless to say, I don't know what happened, but we never ended up hanging out. And then I never talked to him again. But he was a really nice guy. So again, this is another Navy guy, which I forgot to mention that the Navy male dorms were right across from like our Air Force dorms. So one night I was taking out my trash, minding my own business. And this is why I stopped going places at night by myself, because of instances like this. But I was walking back to my dorm. I had my headphones in, which should send the signal, don't talk to me. It was just so weird because he was just standing there like in the dark, just by himself on his phone, like just playing like ratchet music just out loud on the speakers, which is one of my biggest pet peeves in life. Like, people who like are in public on the phone, like, and have the person on speakerphone, or when they play their loud music just off their phone, just in public for no reason. Like, literally, that drives me nuts. And I quickly look down at my phone, acting like I am occupied and don't want to be spoken to. But he tried anyway, and he stops me and he's like, hey, you know, you Air Force, you know, where you going? You know, you too pretty to be out here walking by yourself. Do you want my number? Like, I'm just gonna give you my number now. But I was just like, yeah, you know, I'm an aircraft mechanic. We started talking about our jobs and where we're from and everything. And I want to say he said he was from like Louisiana, maybe, or Georgia, or something like that. I don't remember. I really wasn't paying attention because I wasn't interested. But anyway, we ended up exchanging numbers for some odd reason, because I have a hard time saying no to people that I believe are trying to be nice and genuine. And he was like the double, triple texter. Like, if you don't respond within a couple hours, he'd be like, hey, WYD, hey, you busy? I'm like, so I really tried to avoid him at all costs. Like, I literally stopped taking out the trash, my usual route, and my usual time, just to avoid him. I started to go around. Trust me, it did not bother me. And the main reason I do that is because I don't want to be questioned about where I've been and why I haven't been responding to you. Like, I just don't like confrontation, and I would just rather ignore the situation so that we don't have to talk about it, so that I don't have to address it. But of course, by doing that, the situation only ends up slapping you in the face and making you confront it head on, because that ended up happening at Portside when I was out with my friends, just trying to mind my business and have a good time, and he ends up showing up with his friends. And once again, I was with my friend that everybody thought we were dating. And the crazy thing is that he was literally at a different table, and this guy, this Navy dude, came and sat next to me, and he was just like, hey, you know, where you been, da da da. And then, you know, I'm just trying to like scoot over a little bit because he's inching more and more towards me, and I don't want people to think I'm with him, because, hey bro, there's probably potential out here. Like, I don't want people thinking that you and I are together, like, God no. So I then start talking to my guy friend, and we're just like chemistry, like just that chemistry, that friendly chemistry. We just bonded well. We were friends at this time, right? And so we're just giggling and laughing and like joking around, blah, blah, blah. And he just continues to mind his business with our other friends. I don't know what about that set this Navy dude off, but I don't know. He starts claiming that my friend is like looking at him funny. And he's like, does he have a problem? Is that your boyfriend? And I'm like, no, this is just my friend. Like, that's my homie. That's my dog. Like, there's nothing going on there. Like, we're literally just friends. And he's just like, wow, because, you know, I feel like he's looking at me funny. And when people start looking at me funny, you know, then we got a problem. Literally, like, I literally watched the entire situation. Like, he was not looking at him. He was minding his own business, drinking his beer with our friends. Like, nobody was paying attention to this dude. I wasn't even paying attention to this dude. So his friends are at a different table, a little across the room. And he proceeds to show me this text in the group chat of him and his friends. And they're texting back and forth like, oh yeah, this dude is looking at me. Like, we about to murk this dude. We about to murk him. And da-da-da-da. And like, oh, we got a problem now. When did this go from 0 to 100? So I told everybody, like all of our friends, I was like, hey, are y'all ready to leave? Y'all ready to leave? And I said, hey, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and y'all meet me out there and we could just dip out. Like, we could just roll out right from there. And the guy is like, hey, you know, I'm trying to walk you home. I'm trying to walk you home to your barracks. And I'm like, you know, it's okay. Like, I'm going home with my friends. We're actually about to leave. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, I promise. He's like, nah, but I just want it to be me and you, you know, I just want to walk you home, you know, just us two. And I'm like, well, I already came here with my friends. So like, I'm kind of going to leave with them just to make sure that they get home safe, you know, cause I'm a good friend. He's just like, ah. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just be right back. I'll just be right back. And sure enough, he like follows me to the bathroom and me and my friends all meet up and we end up walking home together. Like the best of friends. He's just walking behind us, which thank God, like he kept trying to pull me back with him to walk with him. And I'm like, dude, I'm with my friends right now. Like, just please leave me alone. So when we finally got back to our dorm, I waved to my other friends. They were like dating at the time. And the Navy dude's friend is like, oh, dang, like, who is that? Who's your friend? Who's your friend? And I'm like, oh, this is so-and-so. Like, that's her boyfriend right next to her. And he starts talking like, oh, well, I'm about to take her from her man. You know, he don't look like he'll do anything anyway. We don't need these problems. The Air Force doesn't have these type of problems. Like, the Air Force does not have drama like this. Like, I don't understand why you're trying to pick a fight with people that you don't even know, that you literally just met. Like, I had never met his friend before, but it was just OD drama. Like, it was unnecessary. All him and his friends just walked back with us. I'm guessing because they were going to try to jump the friend that I was with, the guy friend that everybody thought we were dating. Like, I think they were going to try to jump him or something. And then they start like trying to play, you know, Mr. Steal Man for no reason. So his friend literally walks up to my friend and her boyfriend. And I don't remember what exactly he said. I think he asked something like, hey, where are you from? What's your name? And something. And then he like walked back to us. Basically didn't do anything. It was all talk. Then I was just like, you know what? It's time to go. Like, I didn't say goodbye. I just walked inside because they're not allowed in our dorms. Like, Navy, Marines, they're not allowed in our dorms and we're not allowed in theirs. So the next day he proceeds to text me with the little eye emojis. I was just completely done. I was not having it. I was so fed up with all the little drama. So here is just the conversation that we had through text. And it's not that he was a bad guy, it's just, he just wasn't the guy for me. Needless to say, I never spoke to him again. Your love is rated X. That means you're extra. Now this guy in particular, I thought would be a little different, seeing as though he was a bit older. I think he said he was like 31, maybe 32. Now this guy, like the rest, I did meet up courtside. So I went to the bathroom and on the way there, this guy stops me. He just starts talking to me and like asking questions. The usual, where are you from? Like, oh, trying to guess, are you Air Force? Are you Navy? Are you... Like, okay, yeah, okay, like whatever. So based on his fatigue? Based on his physique and his muscle tone, I thought that he was the Marine. He was another Navy guy. Honestly, I mean, after talking to him for a couple minutes, like, I literally know right off the bat if I'm interested in somebody or if I want to give them my time of day. We had never like established plans to hang out, although he always talked about us going out and like on a date and him taking me to go eat like at the seafood place, but like I didn't want to be alone with a complete stranger, just especially not Navy or Marine, sorry. So again, my friends and I all decided to go to Portside and hang out, just mind our business and have a couple of drinks. And he texts me out of the blue and he's like, hey, you know, we should hang out. And I'm like, you know what? Since you want to hang out so bad, come to Portside. Like, we're all here. You can see me. This guy comes and he hugs me. He's like, yeah, you know, I just want to see you. You know, I just want to hang out with you, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know what it is about these Navy guys and them just wanting to get me by myself. Like, I don't want to think the worst case scenario, but I can't help but think the worst case scenario when somebody just consistently wants to have me alone to themselves, okay? So I'm just like, no, like I'm here with my friends. You can come hang out with us. Like, we're cool people, there's no drama. So the whole time he's just sitting with me and my friends, we're joking and laughing and he's just being quiet, like just, I don't know, he's just being really weird. So he walks away and he starts texting me from like his car or whatever. And he's just like, I don't know, your friends really don't want you to go off with me. Your friends are real protective of you. And I'm like, my friends honestly don't care if I leave right now or not. Like, they're not paying attention to me. They're doing their own thing. They're not worried about you. And he starts talking about my friend and he's just like, yeah, well, your friend is looking at me funny and da 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 da. I'm literally there the entire time and my friend does not pay these guys any mind. Like, he's not looking at them. I don't understand what's going on and why all these guys have a problem with my friend. Like, do they feel threatened by him? Like, yeah, he was cute or whatever all the time. Every time we would go out and he was like looking real fun or whatever. But like, did they see that as a threat? Like, I never understood why every single guy that was interested in me had a problem with this dude. So I go run out to his car and I'm like, oh my God, you're being dramatic. Come back inside. Nobody's looking at you. Nobody wants to fight you. Like, I don't even understand. And so he's just like, nah, like, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go. Your friends are real protective and they just be looking at me funny. Like, I'm not trying to go to jail. I'm like, all right, bro, do what you feel. I can't help this insecurity of what's going on. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. Needless to say, I never spoke to him again either. So as opposed to the other guys that I met at Portside, this guy I actually met through a mutual friend. You know, this guy was really cool. Except for the fact that one of the days that he asked me to hang out, he said that the night before he had spent the night in a hotel with some of his friends. This is one thing that I hate about guys who ask me out, is that they'll ask me, what do I want to do? That's not what I want to hear. I want you to have something planned and be like, hey, I have this planned. Be ready at this time and I can come pick you up. And I was like, well, I am hungry, so we can eat at a restaurant near the hotel you're at. He was like, well, dang, I was kind of hoping that you could just, you know, come spend time with me and cuddle in the hotel. Again, do I just have Netflix and chill just written on my forehead? I was not trying to pay for a taxi to go see him, somebody that I barely even know. He didn't even offer to pay for the taxi to go there, and he was just like being real, just like, please, please, please come see me. Like, I just want to spend time with you. I just want to spend, okay, then we can spend time eating breakfast at this restaurant because I am starving. So that didn't happen. But on another occasion, we did see each other at Portside, and this is when I found out that this kid was 19 and that I was an entire cougar at the moment. And that was when I lost all interest in this kid. Like, literally, like, you're 19, my freaking brother is 19. Like, get out of here. And literally the whole time at Portside, like, he's trying to make a move on me, but he's going about it in the worst possible way. Like, literally, okay, first of all, as soon as I found out he was 19, I was like, not interested. Second of all, there was like this little alleyway. There's like a dark alleyway behind or on the side of Portside, and it's just completely dark. Like, nobody can see back there. Like, it's whatever. And he kept trying to bring me back there, and he's just like, come on, like, just give me one kiss, just give me one kiss. And I'm like, no, you're a child. And he's just trying to like hug up on me and like kiss me on my cheek and on my neck. And I'm like, bro, back up. So after that, I just walked home with him, and he kept trying to do the same thing in like dark alleyways. And like nowadays, Now looking back on this, I definitely should have kept some mace, some pepper spray, like a taser or something. This really could have ended so bad, and I'm glad it didn't. But I was just like pulling away from him, and I'm like, why do you want to go in like dark alleyways? Like, just relax. And he was like, oh, I just want to spend time with you. I just want to, I just want to kiss you. And I'm like, okay, you're spending time with me right now. Why can we not spend time in the light? And he was just like, oh my God, oh my. And then luckily one of my friends starts walking out of our dorm at the same time that we're walking past, and like we're arguing. And he just looks really sad, and I use this as a perfect opportunity to be like, oh my God, what's wrong? Do you need help? Like, what's going on? And he just like walks off and starts texting me afterwards, and it's like, wow, you're really gonna let me walk away? Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Like, are you kidding me? Needless to say, I never talked to him again. And I also found out from his friend that he would do a bunch of ecstasy before he would like go anywhere. So yeah, that's a thing. So the last tragedy of a story that I'm going to provide you guys with today actually isn't a tragedy. This was actually the best experience out of all of the people that I named already. So this guy was actually a TDY, and if you're not familiar with what a TDY is, it's like a temporary duty person. So like they're not actually, like that's not their actual duty station. Like it's temporary, it's not a vacation per se, but it's, you only do it for a short amount of time. I had never seen him before, but apparently he had seen me a bunch of times and like asked one of his friends to talk to me for him and to see if I would go out on a date with him. So his friend ends up giving me his number and tells me that he wants to take me out on a date. He has this plan for us to go to dinner. Like he literally had an entire thing planned, what I had been asking for. So I ended up texting him, and we were just kind of having casual conversation, and we set up a date to go out and eat. Now, the only thing that I felt a little weird about is the fact that he invited the friend that ended up talking to me for him on the date as well. Like I thought he was just gonna be the driver and just drop us off and like pick us up, but not, like he came on the date with us. He actually took me to this cute little like Filipino restaurant. I've never been to a Filipino restaurant before, so that was really nice, and it was something different. The only thing that was weird about it was the fact that like he really didn't talk the entire time. Like his friend talked to me more than he did. So I guess beggars can't be choosers. But the food was actually really good, and he paid for the date. He found a way to pick me up, pay for the date, take me home, and it was really nice. And I thanked him afterwards. But the only unfortunate thing is that since he was a TUI, he was literally leaving like that week. So I think we went out like a couple of days before he was supposed to like fly out of Pensacola. Really nice guy. Really nice guy. I hope wherever he is today, I hope that he has a really great girlfriend or wife, because he freaking deserves it. Definitely let me know your thoughts and opinions on my dating life in tech school in the comments, please. I'm curious to see what you guys think of this. Also, I just created a Twitter, if you guys want to go ahead and follow me there, as well as my other social media platforms. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.